Hey, how are you? It's Kevin Kenny. Welcome to a brand new edition of the Build series. Ending Friday on a high note here in New York City. Our guest, we're about to have out on stage, was named by Nylon Magazine as one of the 11 actors to watch and poised to break out in the world of Hollywood this year. She's also got a heck of a year ahead of her in the world of music. Please let's give a warm Build welcome to Rachel Crow.
Hi!
We were just watching your music video here in studio.
Thank
and if
you.
we could run that back in the control room down there, I'd love to look at it because it's a heck of a video. Sometimes you can go both ways in videos these days.
Yeah.
Mail it in, right?
Yeah.
Or you can go all out like you did, and you really went all out with this video.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really proud of this. Daniel Carberry is an amazing director, and I wrote it, which is cool. So.
The treatment for the video? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I was gonna, because you do so much. We'll get into your acting in a little bit, but you must have such fun with the video because it must be the best of both worlds.
Yeah, because I think when I'm acting in shows and stuff, it's somebody else's vision. So this was really special to me because I got to it came directly from my brain. So.
Right. Well, and I have to imagine, I'm not an actor, but you know,
Hey,
hey, who knows if this doesn't work out?
Hey, let's talk. Make a movie together. It's fine.
Build's like it's not working
Build
out.
the docuseries.
No, but you must, when you're on set, you're somebody else. Here, you're you.
Yeah.
There must be a difference, right? Can you feel that difference?
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny because on set I play other people, but in these things I play different versions of myself. You know, because everybody's got that Netflix, no makeup, a lot of food version of themselves, and then everybody has their fun glam
Totally
going all crazy. You know. Yeah.
I like to think of that as this is mine.
Amen.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I'm glamming up.
Gorgeous. Sparkly. I love it.
What was the vision? Because of course we see the visuals now, but what
Yeah.
did that treatment look like when you were putting pen to paper?
It was beautiful. I did a very good job. No, my manager was like, "Don't worry. If it doesn't look good, we'll fix it." And I took that as, "Oh, I'm gonna make it look bomb." I was like, "Oh, don't test me. Let's make this look perfect." So, I found every high res picture of blue and rain and everything I could to sort of. Because it's hard. It's in my brain. And I'm like, no, right? You see it. And they're like, no, you just said blue and rain. And I was like, oh, right. So I had to look up those photos. And I took a lot of inspo from Umbrella by Rihanna because I loved that video growing up. And I've always loved the rain. And it's always been a really happy thing for me. And this song is a really happy song for me. And blue is my favorite color. And so normally blue and rain sounds depressing, but for me, it makes me smile. So I wanted to show that because, I don't know, this video makes me happy when I watch it. And it made me happy when I was sort of going through it in my brain. And I was Googling venues. I was like, I don't know what to look at. And this place came up and the whole ceiling is LED lighting and it changes color. And I knew, I was like, that's where this is gonna happen. So, yeah.
Are you into horoscopes at all?
It stresses me out because I'm like, is it real? Is that really what's gonna happen? And then I'm feeling a certain way one day and it says I'm feeling that way.
Well, do you read into your
somewhere.
sign and stuff like that?
I try. I'm not very good at it because like I said, I'm like, wait,
I just found
who's
out.
watching me, you know?
I forget who the guest was, but somebody was on and they were talking that they're a water sign.
I am too.
Oh.
Well, wait, no, is Aquarius technically an air sign?
I don't know. I didn't even know they were.
I mean, it looks
things
like water.
That. But you said the rain, and this person, whoever, I'm blanking on the guest, but they were like, I always write music by the ocean because I'm a water sign.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
I was wondering if you were a water sign, but.
I mean, I don't really know. I know I'm either a water or an air sign because I think somebody recently told me well, Aquarius is technically air, but the symbol is water.
Right.
But
So you're just conflicted.
I'm just because I float. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, totally.
I
saw you walk out here. That was a float.
Right? I just floated out. No, my head's in the clouds all the time, but I love the water.
Yeah.
At the same time. I love anything to do. I'm a fish, you know? I just be swimming all the time, living my little life. Floating.
You should put that in a future press release. Your
I
head is in the
swim
clouds.
a
You're
lot.
a fish.
I am a fish.
Yeah.
They'd be like, is she okay?
A
I'd be like,
fish?
probably not.
Does anyone know if an Aquarius is it's a water sign?
Thank
Just
you.
straight up?
Oh, really?
All right.
Nice to meet you, friend.
There you go. What's your name? Megan.
Megan.
Thank you, Megan. All right,
I'm
so that
Rachel.
means you can't, according to Megan, you can't cop the air anymore. It's just
I
straight
know.
water.
But I'm still allowed to float because you can float in water.
Yes. Yeah. And you are floating through, I mean, not to be, that's a really corny pun, but you really are floating through both worlds of acting.
Yeah, no, good one.
And hey,
Nice transition,
I
my
do
friend.
what I can.
You get points for that.
What was the first love? Was it the acting or was it the singing?
Singing.
It was the singing.
Music.
What were you singing
sort of.
along to?
When I was I think I was like 18 months old. I'm one of those month
18 months
people.
old. I thought you were gonna say
it's like
years
a year and a
old.
half old.
Yeah.
I was in the back of the car, and I grew up listening to country music because my family did country and rock.
Colorado?
Yeah.
Really?
Because we lived on a farm, and like
Okay.
there are some country parts of Colorado.
How do you say
Let
it,
me
Mead?
tell ya, Mead.
Mead.
Wow.
It's like The Notebook. Do you remember the notebooks like back in, wasn't that what
Yeah.
notebooks were called? I read that and I was like, oh, that's where they make the notebooks, I bet.
Yeah. No, actually, surprisingly, because the population is like 2,700 people.
Oh, wow.
So like, ain't nobody making notebooks.
Right.
They're like bales of hay everywhere and like corn, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was singing "Breathe" by Faith Hill in the back of the car, like screaming it
Right.
at the time. It's basically what I do now, just screaming songs at people. But yeah, and I think it just oozed out of me. Like it still does. I love music. Like
Yeah.
I'm always like humming something, and my sister's always like, "Shut up! Like, stop singing!" And I'm like, "Never!"
It's my job.
I'm
You
like,
just say
I
that.
literally do this for a living. That's my excuse. I'm like, no, seriously, it's fine. But yeah, acting is cool because I feel like I was saying, like I get to lend myself to characters, which is really cool. Like I don't have to be myself all the time, and it's kind of fun to play somebody different. Like my character in Schooled is like kind of a jerk, and I think it's funny. I'm like I love playing people that are like. I mean, I like to think of myself as a nice person. You'll have to ask my friends and family, I guess. Yeah. But I hope I'm not a jerk. And so me playing somebody that's kind of a jerk is fun because people will tweet me like, "Oh, Felicia, man, like I don't like her."
Well, you also must learn stuff about yourself through playing a jerk.
Yeah, I mean, right? I'm like, oh, I'm a jerk sometimes. It's fine.
Right.
We all are. It's okay.
Speaking of the world of acting, it gets kind of grouped in by fans and maybe by critics too into this like entertainment umbrella or underneath an entertainer umbrella that they also put singing in. But I've talked to plenty of singers that do both. They say it's very different.
Yeah.
It's incredibly different.
Yeah, they're completely separate, which is interesting. They do meet in the middle, like movies like A Star Is Born. Like that's like one of my favorite movies ever. And watching Lady Gaga completely write all of the music for that and work so hard on the music side, but also we get to watch her blossom into this beautiful actress who can play these really compelling roles is really cool. And I hope to, sort of mix them one day. And I mean, I've done little things. Like I had a song in a film that I did, and that was really cool because I got to write from my character's perspective, which was something I had never done. So that was cool. But yeah, I think they're very separate. Music is something that sort of flows out of people, I believe that. Like it comes from the soul and from the heart. And not saying that acting doesn't, but acting, like I was saying, like unless you're writing your own roles and directing your own film and you're acting in it as well, like you're sort of bringing these people's visions of what they want your character to be to life. And it's a really hard job because you in your head are thinking, oh, I think she should be this way, versus they're saying, no, we actually want her to play this way. And so it's really interesting for me.
And there's just so many different variables I find in music because it's not just about having the right song. It's like having the right song at the right time and you being in the right place, where it seems acting is a bit more straightforward than music may be.
Acting is like you go in, you audition a few times, you book it, you film it, it's over, it's out. Right. Versus music is like, well, if blah, blah, blah is feeling this way today, they might like your song, and then they might put it here, and then it might go somewhere, which, I mean, it's, music to me is a feeling, so I write what I feel. I write what I go through. So for people to like look at, like this song was something that I went through and I felt and wrote about as like a form of therapy. And now people are like, oh my God, I really like that. And that's really cool for me because I just did it. You know what I mean? It was just like something I decided to make one day because I was feeling like I was in my feelings because I'm like a 21-year-old girl. You know what I mean? And so when people heard it and were like, this is so good, we have to put it out, it made me feel so good because I felt that and so did they, No,
totally. Take me inside the writing room. You're talking about writing. You wrote this with a couple of friends of yours.
Yeah, I wrote it with my very best friend. Her name's Emlyn. She's super cool. I hope she's watching. Hi. If you are, I love you. And then Sam Fischer, who is so talented. They're both some of the most talented writers I've ever worked with. And yeah, I think Emlyn was with me the night that it went down, like all this went down. Like I met this guy that I had a really big crush on, and we like hung out for 2 weeks solid, and it was really adorable. And then it sort of just fizzled quickly. And it wasn't.
you?
No, it wasn't on him, and it wasn't on me. It's just like both of us. We just sort of like
What, like the
went
schedules
to
get
work,
crazy?
kind of, I guess.
Okay.
And it was one of those moments where that was all it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't supposed to
was
be
you
this
accepting that?
end-all, be-all relationship. It wasn't just me accepting it. I think it was just how it was. It was a very interesting thing that I feel like very few people have really gone through, but people can sort of, in a larger sense, relate to it. And so it happened that way, went away, and then 6 months later, I saw him at a party. And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, he's here, right? Like, my friend invited him. I was like, how dare you? Like, I'm embarrassed. And he walked in, and I was like, what's gonna happen? And it, like, all went back to normal. I can't snap, if you've noticed. I'm really sorry.
You want to try one
Just,
more time?
No.
No?
Fingers rubbing together. It's not cute. But anyway, and he was so sweet to me, and it was normal, and it sort of, like, picked right back up. I did it again. And then it fizzled again, and I was
Why did
very...
it fizzle the second time?
Same thing. Like, it was like, this is not meant to be this end-all, be-all relationship thing. It was just supposed to be what it was, which was two people who maybe needed, like, I had just gone through a breakup, and, like, he was going through his own thing. And I think it was just two people who needed to, like, heal and, like, be friends and, like, hug each other and just, like, you know, like each other for the sense of liking each other. And then it went away. And that's why I chose not to have a love interest in the video, because the point is like, you know, you're feeling like, oh my God, I need this person, I like this person, I love this person. Well, you might all those things, but he just needs to be what he needs to be for you. And then you're good on your own at the end. And that's why the dancers go away and I'm left there by myself. It's like, I'm good.
In a way, it's an empowerment anthem.
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
Yeah, and so as we were writing it, she watched it all happen. So she had her perspective, I had mine, and then Sam obviously wasn't there. He just sort of was there on the day and was like, wow, like, this is crazy, like, from what you've told me, like, blah, blah, blah. And so, you know, it was sort of three perspectives. Two people who had experienced it in some way and then one that hadn't. And I think it was sort of like the perfect concoction of a song, because it was all these perspectives kind of coming in and making this beautiful thing. And then the producer I work with, his name is Emlyn, who I adore, just really understands me sonically and understands my sounds and what I want to make. And so it was just a really beautiful process. I'm really proud of this song.
Speaking of your sounds, you're at a really interesting point in your career, right?
Yeah.
You're maturing as a person, but then,
Thank
of course, you're maturing. Yeah. I mean, just over the course of this interview, you've matured.
I know, right? How crazy.
You're going to be snapping, like, perfectly.
I know. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say that. I'm really happy that you did. He's putting it in the universe.
Callback joke. But, you know, you are, in all seriousness, maturing as a person, coming into your own person, and then you're also doing that as an artist. So sonically, you're going to be exploring more. Lyrically, content-wise, you're going to be, you know, writing about new things.
Yeah.
How hard has it been to navigate that, going from maybe more childish stuff to more mature stuff?
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
I think we've seen tons of artists do that over time, and some do it in like a really great way, and some do it in like not the best way. But it's sort of like, I don't know if there's really any right or wrong. I think we're all human, and I think it's sometimes hard to grow up with people watching you, like me on such a smaller level than a lot of these artists that we've watched grow over the years, go from Disney or Nickelodeon into you know, more adult things. But even for me on a small level, like, it is hard. I feel like everyone sort of sees this Instagram screen or whatever, and they think that they know everything that's going on and exactly how you're feeling, when it's not true. And we're sort of all we're kind of flailing just like everyone else. Like, you know what I mean? When you're in your 20s and you're young, and one day it's like, oh yeah, you're 21 now, so you can drink alcohol tomorrow, even though today you can't. Like, it's the weirdest thing. And I find it all so bizarre growing up. And I feel like I'm going through very normal things as a 21-year-old, and I'm going through things that are not normal, because I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm pursuing music professionally, and how crazy is that? Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it's difficult, but at the same time, it's really beautiful. And I feel like I'm just getting better every day and growing every day.
How hard was it to be on a competition show when you were, I think, 13 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 13's tough if just
13's
middle,
tough in
just
general.
Go to middle school, you know?
Whoa, don't even remind me.
You know, not only being judged by the audience at home, but then, of course, the nature
Yeah.
of those shows, you're being judged by a panelist of experts.
Yeah, it was it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
But I always say that it was like the best experience of my life and the worst, because you're 13, you're a kid, and you're going through so much, and so many people telling you what to be and how to dress and like who to talk to, and yeah, it was a lot. But at the same time, like, I'm so thankful because I know how to go in and do a sound check really quickly and how to warm up my voice. And I learned so much about the industry that I'm in. And at such a young age, having that and realizing, through all of that, just to 100% stay true to myself and not let anybody tell me what to do or who to be. I think that was my biggest lesson in that. And so for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Oh, totally. We're going to turn it over to the fans in just a second, but I want to talk to you about Timeline, because this sounds really, really cool.
Thank you. I am so excited for people to see it. Yeah.
So, I mean, how I understand it, it's almost like a choose-your-own-adventure kind of thing, where it's very interactive. Can you explain this?
Yeah, it's interactive. It's a little different. I don't know if anybody saw the Netflix one that Black Mirror did. So it's a little bit different than that because I don't know about any of you if you watched it, but I could not get out of it. Like 3 hours later, didn't make it to the end. It was like, what is this? My show will be less complicated, and I hope you enjoy it. But basically, you'll get to choose what I do throughout the show and how I'm feeling about my decision. So there are choice moments. So it'll pop up at the bottom of the screen like, is she sad or is she happy? And you click into that. And then we go into that scene. And say you click sad, it'll say, okay, well, who does she talk to? Does she talk to them or them? And then you click that. And then it sort of goes in and shows you everything. But it was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Well, so you must have to
so
basically
difficult.
shoot 2 shows, right? Depending on...
4.
4? Oh, right. I'm bad at math.
No, you're not bad at math. You literally... I had to train before I had to film this show with our director, Kimmy Gatewood, who is on Glow on Netflix, and she's also like the most incredible director. And we had an amazing writer, Neil, who I'm so impressed by him because when I first read this, like when you read the story and what it's sort of the gist is, I was like, this is not, I at first genuinely was like, this is weird. Like, I don't know what to think about this. And as I started reading, like, he's such a beautiful writer. And I think it's so easy in teen comedy to sort of take the easy way out where everything's predictable, but this is not that. Like, it is so well written, and I'm so proud of it. And I had to train and like read a color-coded script the whole time. And within each scene, there are 4 alternate scenes, and you have to do them all. So it was crazy. We basically shot 4 episodes of 4 shows in a month, which sounds like a lot of time, but I promise it is no time at all. It was rough, but we had a great time, and I met some lifelong friends on that show.
Totally. I look forward to checking it out.
Thank you.
Let's get to our first studio audience question. It'll come from over here.
Hi.
Hi.
It was already mentioned that you do so much as it is, but I was wondering if there's anything else you want to do or try in the entertainment industry or even outside of it.
Oh, that's such a great question. Thank you. What's your name?
Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
Hi.
I think, I love cooking. So I'd like to do something with that. I actually got to make like vegan tacos for Z100 today, which was crazy. I was like, I'm a chef. So that would be cool. I also am obsessed with makeup, and Rihanna has really inspired me recently because not only did she like put out a whole makeup line, she did it incredibly well. So yeah, I don't know. That would be cool in the future, but that's a great question.
Thank
You
you.
could cook some fish.
Cook fish, do my makeup at the same
Flailing
time.
fish.
Me, no, I don't want to cook a little fish.
All right, let's get to one final studio audience question. It'll come from right behind me.
Oh, hey, girl.
Oh, hey, what's up? First of all, I love your music.
Thank you.
It sounds so good.
I love your hair.
Oh, thank you. As a musician myself, I'm very curious on how your writing process is and how you decide what songs you put out in the world and what songs you kind of put in the recycle bin.
That is an amazing question. My writing process is messy. I feel like there's not one particular way. There's probably like 3. A lot of it comes from my notes because as I walk around, people will see me on my phone and I'm writing in my notes constantly. And a lot of times I'll like text my best friend who's my writing partner and be like, this is cool, like remember this. And so sometimes we'll piggyback ideas off of each other and then go from there in a song. More times than not, it comes from a story like this song, something that happened to me. I I go through things in my life. We all go through negative things. And so my philosophy is if I can make it into something beautiful that people enjoy to listen to and make them feel something, like that's the best scenario possible. You know what I mean? And at least I got that out of what I went through. And then the third way is sort of like sometimes I'll be in a studio and not know what to do. And I'll just like, I'm not great at playing instruments, but if I sit there long enough, like I can come up with something. So I'll start like playing some piano keys or like humming something and sitting with the producer, and we'll build the track first, and then I'll like write on top of it. So yeah, there's like little mix of stuff in there, but the first two are pretty much how it goes.
Okay, thank you.
And wait, what was the second question?
How you decide what?
Oh,
yeah.
I got you. I was like getting distracted. It was your hair. Anyway, my label and I collaborate because I want to make them happy and I want them to hear my music and love it. And so with this song, like I said, I just kind of wrote it because I was feeling some type of way. And I was like, all lovey-dovey writing this song, you know what I mean? And they loved it. And I was surprised. And that was over a year ago, and it just came out. So, you know what I mean? It takes a long time, but we really consider every option. We consider what it's about. We consider, like, literally anything you can think of, we consider before we decide to put it out into the world. And then comes, like, photo shoot or a music video idea. And usually I'm like, hi, I already have an idea and treatment ready for you. Please read it. Yeah, so I'm very lucky. They're very, S-Curve, they're a very great label. And I'm very thankful because, you know, you hear horror stories of people that have to put things out that they don't want to. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great questions, as always. And we're unfortunately out of time, but where can we
okay.
keep up to date with you, Rachel?
Come hang out with me on Instagram. I'm fun. It's all I am Rachel Crow. Facebook too, Twitter. Yeah.
Nice.
I tweet really weird things, but like, who doesn't, you know?
Do you? I've heard you obviously have a lot planned for 2019. Do you have an idea of
Yeah.
when we'll get the next song or new music? I mean, not that this is brand new, but
I know that we're trying to put an EP together, but I'm a perfectionist, so I will let you know when it's ready, because I don't know yet. We wanted April, but I highly doubt that.
Cool.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'll surprise myself and everybody.
yeah, there you go. We look forward to it. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much for stopping by. One more time, guys, for Rachel Crow.